My life is literally falling apart just like Tom Brady and Giselle's marriage. At least we got football.
Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, about now, about now, about now.
What is poppin', y'all? It's your man, Clubboy Bills. Welcome to another episode of Wisco Sports Weekly Predictions on Wednesday. Already down to week 5. So far we have, this is really an open race. A lot of teams aren't playing up to their best. A lot of teams are struggling. A lot of teams aren't, I don't even know what to really say. I mean, it's gonna be a really tight race, and in the end, I really don't know what's gonna happen. This is so unpredictable. Every team could really have a shot at the Super Bowl this year. It's crazy how it is. But of course, if you like what you see, subscribe below, comment with your thoughts, and let's get on with the predictions. Thursday Night Football. We got the Indianapolis Colts versus the Denver Broncos. So, the Colts, these two teams are the horse teams. They're supposed to be the caliber teams that are strong. Neither of these teams provide really good offense whatsoever. The Colts have just been flat out awful offensively. Now Jonathan Taylor's dealing with injuries. Denver, well, Russell Wilson just hasn't really been the same since he left Seattle. I don't know what's going on with him. Javonte Williams is out for the year, which is a tough blow. I don't know what to think, but if I had to pick between the two, I'm going to go with Denver. I just don't think Indianapolis has really what it takes right now. Sunday, October 9th, we have the London game. We got New York Giants versus Green Bay Packers. Interestingly enough, both teams that are going to be in London have an over 500 record. For the first time since they've done London games since 2007. Both teams have winning records. Don't know how that happened for all these years. Anyways, Giants aren't as bad as I thought. However, they are dealing with some quarterback injuries. Daniel Jones had to leave the game with an ankle injury. Tyrod Taylor had to come in. He left the game with a concussion. Daniel Jones had no choice but to come back in, and he's dealing with ankle injuries. So Saquon, he's back to what he used to be. That's a cool thing. Green Bay, on the other hand, are they trying to? The loss of Devontae Adams sucked, but the rookies are really starting to make an impact. If I had to choose between the two, I feel like Green Bay, they should win this game. I feel like they are the better team out of the two. Next up, Pittsburgh Steelers, Buffalo Bills. Pittsburgh has just finally decided to move on from Mitchell Trubisky and start rookie Kenny Pickett. He didn't do as well, but I don't think Pittsburgh is going to do well this season. They are going to struggle this season. They're going nowhere. But Kenny Pickett does have a future, I believe. Buffalo, they're not going to be Buffalo. Buffalo wins this one. Next up, LA Chargers, Cleveland Browns. Chargers, they've always been a fluke, but I feel like you got to start winning some games if you are a legitimate team. So I say the Chargers win this one against Cleveland. Next up, Chicago Bears, Minnesota Vikings. Wow, the Vikings are a legitimate team. The Bears, well, they just don't look good at all. I mean, they had to literally cut the person that gave them all the points last week. well, it was the kick. It was a backup kicker because they had nobody. But yeah, it just sucks to see Chicago really struggle like this. I say Minnesota wins, but I mean, there's nothing you can really do about it. Next up, Detroit Lions, New England Patriots. Detroit has one of the best offenses in the NFL. They also have the worst defense in the NFL. The Lions have scored the most points out of any team in the combined 4 weeks. And they are 1-3. This football is just weird, which just shows they need a defense. Patriots, on the other hand, they're 1-3. They're last in the division. No one would have ever expected this out of Belichick, ever. New England, I feel like, is a little better than I thought they would. I say that Patriots win this one. Next up, Seattle at New Orleans. I don't know. I don't know if New Orleans is legitimate or not. Seattle, on the other hand, well, if they play offensively like this every week, they could win games. You never know. But I think New Orleans wants to get back on track with some wins here. I'm going to say New Orleans wins this one. Next up, Miami Dolphins, New York Jets. Miami is going to be without Tua. Of course, this week they know they're going to get a lot of heat if they start him because the whole concussion thing is just bonkers. Between the two, the Jets maybe will have some life with Zach Wilson. Maybe they'll change their look on offense. I don't know. But between the two, I say Miami wins. Just because they should win this one, but we'll see. I don't know. Next up, Atlanta, Tampa Bay. Tom Brady has never lost 3 games in a row. That's the last time that's happened was 2002. I don't think he'll lose to Atlanta. Atlanta's not as bad as I thought, but Tom Brady should not lose to this team. I'll say Tampa Bay wins. Next up, Tennessee Titans, Washington Football Team. Tennessee now is starting to get some offense going. They don't need A.J. Brown, but they're really starting to see some things. Derrick Henry's starting to get up to speed. I think they're just trying to get up to speed a little bit. They should get another win against Washington. Washington has just been awful this year. I mean, I want to try. You're not getting anywhere with Carson Wentz in that offensive line for sure. Tennessee wins this one. Houston at Jacksonville. Normally you'd sit there and say, ooh, a tank bowl, but Jacksonville isn't that bad. They could have beaten the Eagles if they wouldn't turn the ball over 5 times, but football is weird. Houston right now has the worst record in the league. They just look awful. I'm going to believe it or not, but I say, I don't know. Normally I sit there and say Jacksonville loses this one just because they're Jacksonville. But Houston always seems to come close with all their opponents. I say Houston will actually get a win this time. Originally I was like Jacksonville win it, but if Jacksonville wins, maybe they're not as bad as I thought they were. San Francisco 49ers, Carolina Panthers. 49ers, they play like this offensively, they're going to do great. Carolina, I think at this point, is going to bench Baker Mayfield for Sam Darnold when he comes back, because that's how bad they are right now. I say San Francisco. Next up, Dallas Cowboys, Los Angeles Rams. Obviously, they have Cooper Rush for another week. They're trying to work Dak Prescott back in there. But will Cooper Rush go undefeated as a quarterback? He has not lost a game yet as a starter, so pretty crazy. However, I say it ends here. I don't think they'll beat the Rams. I don't really see it. I don't know why. Next up, Philadelphia Eagles, Arizona Cardinals. This is a little tough one. Philly's the only undefeated team left in the NFL. Arizona's a little wild card because I don't know if they're really legitimate or not. But if I had to pick, maybe Philly is a good team. I'll say Philly. If Arizona wins, it wouldn't surprise me. And then Sunday Night Football, we have Cincinnati at Baltimore. First time we see these two teams. If I had to pick, I'm going to go with Baltimore. I don't know if Cincinnati is doing as well, but Baltimore is just losing games that they shouldn't even lose. They've literally choked 2 games. 2 of their losses were just embarrassments. I mean, Harbaugh, I can't believe still has his job, but Baltimore needs this one. I'll take Baltimore. And then Monday Night Football, we have the Las Vegas Raiders at the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City is looking like the Super Bowl favorite right now. Patrick Mahomes is just looking unbelievable. Las Vegas may have got their first win, but you can't get their second win against a team that's hot. I'm going to take the Chiefs. So if you like what you see, subscribe below, comment with your thoughts, and as always, we love sports. We'll see you next time.